Hey everyone. So I'd like to share an activity that I do with children that are struggling with shape sorters. So shape sorters, I'll post a photo here or a link in the description box. They are a toy that many toddlers play with. They are a box. They have holes in it. The holes are of different shapes. The box comes with small pieces that are of the same shapes on top of the box. The objective of the game is, or of the toy, take the small piece, try to fit it in the right hole. Now, a lot of children that I work with who are of special needs, they tend to struggle with the concept of putting the piece in the hole. They take the piece, they bang around it, thinking like it's a drum, and that's great, but we want to transition them over to the next step, which is take the piece and put it in the hole. So this little activity, which I created, which is called Coins in the Bank, is a great activity to teach them the concept of take the piece, put it in the hole. So you'll just need a couple of things. Oh, and before I go into this, I do not recommend this activity for children who are still mouthing, putting things in their mouth, because there are a couple of pieces that are made of metal, and we don't want those pieces in their mouth, so I don't recommend it if they're mouthing. Okay, so let's begin. So what you will need for the activity Coins in the Bank is an empty container, plastic preferably. This is a medicine bottle that I cleaned and sanitized, but you can use any container, just make sure it's plastic. It's safer for the children. Plastic container, a piece of plastic or saran wrap, a rubber band. Doesn't matter what color, as long as it sticks around and it holds things in place, and the lids of cans. I call these chips, so you may hear me say chips a lot. This is what I'm referring to. These are the little flip tops of cans. Can get them anywhere, pretty much anything that's canned, and that's pretty much it. So you don't have to go and buy anything, just use these little things that you may have at home. So this is what you do. You take your container, your empty container. Oh, before you do that, this is actually step one. So you take your saran wrap or your plastic wrap and you make a hole in it. Very simple. You fold it in half, you cut a hole, I think it's like a half circle. Open it up, you got a circle. And make sure that the hole is big enough to fit the chip inside. Okay, that's the most important thing. Once you have that, take your plastic wrap and put it on top of the container. Make sure it's aligned, that it's in the center of the opening of the container. Okay, because the children, what they're going to do is that they will actually put the chips inside of the container through the hole. Take your rubber band. Actually, let me take the black one. Take the rubber band and you just wrap it around. I do not recommend tape for this. I recommend the rubber band because you'll be doing this activity with many children. I've done this with almost all the children that I've worked with that are struggling with shape sorters, and having it put together with a rubber band has been so easy. If it's taped, then you have to make the lid or the plastic wrap all over again each time. Okay, so you got your bank. This is your bank. You take your coins, which are the chips, but right now they're coins. And what the child is going to do, okay, so this is it. Your coin, your bank. The objective of the game is quite simply that the child has to fit the chip or the coin in the bank. Once they do, then yay, woo! You shake it. And let me tell you something, these children, they love to shake this. This in itself is a reinforcer, to shake it. And one thing that I particularly like is the fact that because it's clear, they get to see the piece moving. I don't know if you can see it there, but they can see the piece moving and they love it. They hear it and they see it. So it's all over great reinforcer. Now, When you're doing this with the children, I recommend limiting the reinforcer just for a couple of moments, seconds, definitely less than a minute, because the objective for this particular activity is not the shaking. It is putting the coin inside of the bank. So I'll show you again. So you take the coin and you fit it inside of the bank quite simply. Now, for this activity, this is great for children to use their pincer grasp. This is literally the only grasp they can use to put it inside. It's also great for cognition problem solving because the children have to figure out how can they fit the piece inside. It can't fit it like this. It can't. So they have to move it around, try to fit it inside, and once they do, yay! And then we're good to go. Try a couple of times, and once they can do this, I would say just a few times, like 3-5 times, they can do it. You can move on to the shape sorter. The objective is quite simply they have to fit the piece inside. Now, the great thing is that because it's small, it doesn't allow the child to just take the piece and bang it around, because with the plastic wrap, it doesn't really make a noise like the hard top shape sorters. So that takes care of that. Now, vocabulary, words you can use. You can say fit, you can say big, small. And so, for example, does the coin fit in the bank? Oh, it does. Yay! Wonderful. Is it too big? Is it too small? Those are some words you can use. Extensions. Now, how you can extend this activity. Let's say the child is doing fantastic and you want to extend it just to make sure that they're extra ready for the shape sorter. So what you would do is that you would have at least, I would say 2 different sizes. I wouldn't have more than 2 different sizes. It would get a little bit frustrating. So have 2 different sizes and have the child try to fit it. One of them has to be either too big or too small. So that way they have to figure out, oh, this is too big, it doesn't fit. So they have to use the other one that actually easily fits. Okay? Let me see my notes. And I think that's pretty much it. So again, coins in the bank. Child fits the piece Child fits the piece inside. Yay! Woohoo! Move on to the next one. Child fits it inside. Yay! And then you get something that's too big and see if the child tries to fit it. If it's too big, you say, "Oh no, it's too big," and "Oh no, it's too small." Whatever it is, but make sure that you can extend it that way too. Let's see what else, and I think that's pretty much it. Now, one thing to be mindful of, as I said it before, I'll say it again. Do not use this activity if the child is still mouthing, still putting things in their mouth, because this is what I was referring to earlier. The chips. These chips are made of metal, and you just never know. And also, one other thing is that there are some ragged edges on there, which are fine for our hands, but you don't want that in the child's mouth, nowhere near the tongue, because that's just a mess waiting to happen, a horrible thing. So make sure that the child is not mouthing, or I don't know if you can stand down, but I don't know. But you can just make sure that the child is not mouthing and use it. Coins in the bank. Have a good one. Bye.